Good morning, 7th grade history class. Welcome back. Again, my name is Mr. KIKIC. We're back to our lesson number 2 of our break. Now, before we start, I just want to remind you guys that you all were supposed to take a test yesterday. I've only received one of those tests back, so I know you guys just took it back, or took it yesterday. You still have a little bit of time today to take it if you have it. But I do want to encourage you to go ahead and finish that up so I can grade it for you as quickly as possible. That's going to be test number 9 in your packet that's attached with all the rest of your work. So make sure you're finishing that up, and then I'm going to go ahead and grade that for you all. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start on our new chapter today, which is going to be chapter number 22. And we're going to be going over section 22.1, or the first part of section 22.1, talking about the rise of communism. And then tomorrow we're going to finish up section 1 of chapter 22, talking about leading up to World War I. So let's go ahead and get started. In your packet, it says that you were supposed to read part of section 1 of chapter 22 from pages 327 to pages 330 or 329, right around there. These are the notes that you should have for those, or for that reading. And so I'm going to go over that right now. The section starts talking about what is modernism. Modernism has to do with a little bit about socialism, communism, and what we call religious liberalism, which begins in Germany right around mid-1800s to late 19th century. Modernism is also known as religious liberalism. Like I just said, it is the belief that there is no God and that man is the height of all thought and ability. Again, it starts in Germany, and at this time, Germany, remember, is a conglomeration of states. It's not the country of Germany that we think of today. It is more comprised of smaller kingdoms that kind of compete with each other to see who's going to get the upper hand. We have places like Hanover, Bavaria, Prussia, and so on. One of these states is going to rise up over the other states and is basically going to try to unite the German Confederation together into one country. This state is called Prussia. It is today in northern Germany, or where present-day Poland is, and the man who leads Prussia is called Otto von Bismarck. Now, it is during his rule from 1871 until 1890 that is known as the era of Bismarck. And Bismarck, what he wants to do is he wants to make Prussia the strongest of the Germanic states, and then basically have all of the other Germanic states ally themselves with him so they can unite into one single country. And he's able to accomplish this in 1871. And the German states are united, and they elect Wilhelm I. It's important that you remember that it's Wilhelm I that becomes the first emperor of united Germany. Now, the German word for emperor is Kaiser, and so this is why he adopts the name Kaiser Wilhelm I. Kaiser Wilhelm I will become the Emperor of Germany, or what's called the Kaiserreich, or the German Empire, in 1871. It is during this time that Germany becomes much more advanced, both militarily and in industrialization. They become a very powerful and strong country, and they're going to start rivaling the other major powers in the area, France and England. And they're even going to start building up their navy to kind of threaten England and France, or to actually kind of keep them from going to war with each other. Germany's kind of trying to keep up with the other big players in Europe. Also at this time, the country of Italy is very similar to Germany. Italy is not the country that we think of as Italy, the giant boot that it is today. Italy, like Germany, is divided up into small conglomerates of states, duchies, and kingdoms. These are constantly competing, and they have been competing for quite some time. There's also a lot of French troops that are stationed in northern Italy. They're also there to protect the Vatican and the Pope, who lives in the Vatican. And so Italy is a country that's going to be moving towards unification, kind of like Germany was. They are united in 1861 under the leadership of a king of Sardinia. Sardinia is the tiny island in the off the southern coast of Italy. He will eventually become the king of all of united Italy, and his name is Victor Emmanuel II. After Victor Emmanuel II of Sardinia becomes the king of united Italy, the capital of Rome will become the capital of the country of Italy again. The French troops are going to leave France, or excuse me, are going to leave the Vatican and the protection of the Pope during the Franco-Prussian War. And the Pope will retreat himself back into the Vatican, and it is at this time that Rome again will become a capital of the Italian country. This is pretty much all the notes that you should have taken for section 1 of chapter 22. As you see, it's not very long. Tomorrow we're going to finish up the section. Just make sure that you have all of these notes written down. If you don't have them written down, the best thing to do right now would be to pause this video and make sure that you have everything written down. Also, make sure that you are working on that test. If you haven't finished that test, please make sure that you set some time aside today and finish that test up. As soon as you finish it, go ahead and give it to your parents so they can bring it up to school for me to grade, and then I can record the grades for you on Jupiter Grades. Once you have finished these notes, that's all the work that I have for you all today as far as the lesson goes. You do have a little bit of homework. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be on page 327, and it's the chapter 22 timeline. Of course, everybody remembers how the timelines are done. Make sure you copy down everything that it says on page 327. Once you have that down, just go ahead and send it in with your test so I can grade that for you as well. And I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and stay history.